What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at Flashback Paulinho. Obviously we did go ahead and get his loan card. Very easy to pick up in friendly matches, and actually I didn't realize how easy it actually is, because you just go on mystery ball. As soon as you get a speed boost, just literally use any Brazilian and you're pretty much guaranteed a goal if you just keep going at it. So very simple to try him out. Personally, I would recommend to try him out first. I think he's a good player, and I'm not taking anything away from him. I do think he is a very well-rounded player when it comes to being that centre mid cam role. But I feel like he has a specific kind of style of play, so it's something we're going to delve into in this review. But I would recommend going and doing that just to check, because 180 to 170-ish K on both consoles is a lot to put into a card that just doesn't go anywhere. That is my biggest problem, is just trying to do every single card, trying to keep up with the big content creators that obviously can spend that little bit extra dollar on it. And that's hopefully where I want to get at. I want to be able to afford every single card every single time of the day, and that's something that I work through. But obviously if you're on a budget, you want to make sure that this card is worth your team, worth actually putting in some coins, because I believe this year staying liquid, like a lot of the content creators are at the minute, is probably the best way. And more than likely most of these cards, when it comes to team of the year, team of the season, in the bigger promos, these cards are going to be literally worthless. So make sure that you are making the right choice. And if you do like this card, and I do think he is worth it. I think the SBC wise, you get a 15k pack, a 20k pack, and a 30k pack. So what's that? 65k worth of packs for 184k SBC on the Xbox. It's not bad. It could be a lot worse. So I think realistically, for an 88 rated Brazilian cam with some relatively nice stats, he is lacking on pace, which we'll get into, but I feel like the SBC wise of it is actually really decent. Pack wise, again, it's a hit and miss one. It's all about luck. I don't think them packs are necessarily the best on the game at this moment in time, but what pack is? This game at the minute is not giving anything out when it comes to packs. It really takes something lucky to get yourself a big pull, and you'd be looking for a good 180k worth of a player. That's going to be very difficult. So at least you could kind of take the value of the SBC down a little bit with anything you pack. Obviously silver's always good as well. So going into the information of this card, as you can see from the team that I was using, obviously it was pretty much my main team. I've just swapped him out for Fabinho, and obviously he does link to Firmino, Neymar, and Roberto Carlos. So he was on a 10 already. I did try him as like a CDM, CM role, but then mainly I was focusing on him as more of a cam, if anything. So I tried him in a couple of positions, as you'll see in a few of the clips, and I did like him pretty much everywhere. I think midfield wise he was relatively decent. The pace was the bit of an issue, obviously only 77. We've seen it in a lot of other players as well, because he is 6 foot, so relatively tall player. Really good heading as well, which is a shame that this game just doesn't allow any heading really. Obviously when it comes to heading the ball in general, that's not bad at all. Kind of passing heading, that's what I'm on about. Really good at that. 96 jumping and 89 heading accuracy. Like I say, if you could get him, like say as a cam centre forward, and like kind of make him go into the box, and maybe the striker come out of the box if they're smaller, if you get what I mean, that would actually be a really nice tactic for this card. Shooting wise, 85 overall, you can't really complain about that. 88 positioning, 85 finishing, 87 shot power for a centre mid. That's relatively on the high end. Obviously he's not a striker, so I'm not expecting him to have a huge amount of shooting. He is a 4-star skiller, which again is lovely. 3-star weak foot, which is a negative for him. And he does have a high attacking and defensive work rate. So I would recommend custom tactics will be your best friend with this card. Even though he does have 96 stamina, you want to make sure that he's doing his job. He is a box-to-box midfielder, realistically, obviously without the pace, but chemistry styles can do that, can do something about that. Obviously, if you went for more the attacking player, you've got an 87 pace, 90 shooting in a hunter. That would take him up to an 88 rated centre forward. and it actually takes him down to an 87 rated cam, but moves him up to an 89 rated striker. So figure that one out. If you was to go, for instance, Catalyst, that would turn him up to an 89 rated cam. Again, passing would be nice, 87 pace. Shadow, because obviously it's the last one with pace, would only bring him down to an 86 cam, but obviously then he would be very, very equipped to be a very good CM, because his pretty much shooting game and everything like that is top notch, and his defending would be 90 then. Whether you'd want him as a CDM, personally as a CM, that would work really well as a very, very neutral CM, someone who's probably going to be more on the defensive front, more on the interceptions rather than actually kind of striving forward. So for me, I see him as more of an attacking player and more of a physical attacking CM. So for me, I like him as a cam. I think you could play him left cam, right cam. I personally played him in the centre to start with. I did push him out right purely for the fact that he's got a right foot, that I wanted to kind of keep that going and really show him what he's like down that right hand side. 85 strength, 84 aggression, that's completely fine. 84 interceptions, 89 heading accuracy, like I said, and 83 standing tackle. Again, you're looking at a very well-rounded player. That's something I'm finding with this card. Agility and balance is a little bit lower with 73 and 75. Reactions, ball control, dribbling, and composure are all 86, 88, and 84. And then also 85 for the composure. Like I say, really, really nice. Passing as well, I completely missed the passing out. 88 short pass, 85 long pass. Well-rounded. That's what I like about this card, and I think that's definitely what I will take from this card. Yes, he does have a little bit lower pace. Sometimes a hunter can work that out. You've got 3-star weak foot, which again can be a deal breaker when it comes to going into foot champs. I personally would like to have most of my players, if not all of them, if possible, on a very nice 4-star, 4-star at the very least. If I can get away with a 5-star, 4-star or a 5-star, 5-star, then personally I will always choose them, depending on obviously the player, over a lot of the others. Because it's the way to do it. You're leaving yourself no option for failure. And if you are good at the game, then it really doesn't matter too much who you are using, as long as they're of a good quality. In general though, I feel like he fit in the team really well. Is he worth the 184k? I think obviously an inflation price at the minute, I would probably 100% recommend you to wait for rewards if you are getting rewards, and really then contemplate to see how much you've got in your club. I personally wouldn't spend coins on him. I would definitely look at trying to kind of grind my way for this card, and I think that's something that I might look at. And I think the main reason this card would be good, especially in a lot of people's team, if you have completed the Hulk Scream and also completed the Chinese League SBC, because you can obviously get, I think it's Jonathan or Johanathan, I don't know how you pronounce his name, I don't even know who he is, but I know he's a Brazilian striker. Obviously then Hulk being the 86 right mid, and then obviously this card all having super links with being Brazilian in the same league. That for me would be the main reason why I'd probably do this card. Personally, I do have Hulk, and I think I chose Eder on my first time round. So obviously second time round, that is who I'd go for. And then if I do manage to pick up this card, I can then give him a good trio right there. Personally, I do think he is better than Firmino. Obviously, Firmino offers a wide variety of links being Brazilian, like Paulinho, but also in the BPL. And I think that's something that would edge me towards Firmino, as I don't think Paulinho's massively above him, but I do think at the minute he was playing that cam role a little bit better than him. Personally, I do think De Bruyne is better. De Bruyne is absolutely insane in this game. Really, really good ball control, on the ball's reactions. The whole nine, passing-wise, is absolutely fantastic. 7 out of 10 for value for coins. I do think the SBC is probably about right. We saw Gnabry come in at around about the same price as well, but obviously he needed a couple more informs, I believe. So for me, I'd say the SBC value is spot on. Obviously, I'd wait for inflation to probably die down, let the kind of prices of what requirements he needs to die down, and at least rewards day is tomorrow. If you want to splash your cash on a couple of SBCs, then I think Paulinho's definitely your man. 8 out of 10 for foot champs. I do think he has got a good shot in a lot of people's foot champs teams. Not everyone can afford the Vieiras and Hullets nowadays, so I think someone like this is not someone who would stay in your team for mega long, but I think if you've got the right players and you play well with them, he definitely can get you through a few months of FUT Champs before we get any more special cards, because obviously we're waiting for another promo, and I don't think that's going to happen for quite a while. So I'm thinking Paulinho could definitely stay in your team at least until up to Christmas if you play well with him. And overall, I'm giving him a 7.5 because I do think there's room to grow still. Obviously, he's 11 ratings away from max. That for me says that there's going to be better cards out there and cards that play better than him. So 7.5 is justified, I believe, and I really do think this card is worth the value of his SBC. Obviously, when the inflation does drop, I can say, what, 160, 170 on the lower end would be what I'd be looking for this card. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And if you want to subscribe with the bell button on, that would be perfect. And have a good day, and I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.